A scientist accidentally fuses his DNA with that of a fly during an experiment. Before long, coarse black bristles start pushing out of his back, and his strength and speed change in ways no one could have imagined. A full giant swing on the high bar is something most ordinary people can't even do once. But he pulls off more than 100 of them without breaking a sweat. His girlfriend used to get completely exhausted just climbing 2 floors. But now, he picks her up and carries her all the way up 18 floors in one go. He thinks he might become a superhero everyone looks up to, some kind of fly man. But as time goes on, his human form begins to fade away. It isn't until his ex-girlfriend comes to find him that she finally tells Seth the truth. It turns out Ronnie had taken one of the hard bristles cut from his body and sent it for testing, and the results show something horrifying inside it: insect DNA. In other words, over the coming days, Seth's body may undergo even more unpredictable changes. But Seth won't listen at all. In his mind, he has already evolved into something close to perfect. His physical abilities have improved dramatically. He believes Ronnie is only saying these things out of resentment. So, ignoring her warnings, he forces her out of the lab. Then one day, Seth discovers that his fingernails are starting to fall off on their own. Even worse, a disgusting mucus begins oozing from his fingertips. He stares at it in disbelief. Only then does he realize there may really be something wrong with his body. Panicking, he opens his computer and checks the data from the first teleportation. That is when he discovers the truth. When the machine was activated, a fly had somehow flown into the teleportation pod. The system detected 2 different genetic codes, and then it fused them together. Terrified, Seth immediately calls Ronnie. He tells her everything that has been happening to him lately. But when Ronnie arrives at the lab, all she finds is a room in complete chaos. Seth himself is nowhere to be seen. She softly calls out his name. Then, from behind the teleportation chamber, Seth slowly staggers out with a cane. The man who was once strong and muscular can now barely even walk. Clearly, his condition is getting worse. Looking at the strange, twisted state he is in, Seth admits that Ronnie was right. A fly really did enter the pod during the teleportation. He laughs bitterly at himself, mocking the monster he has become. Ronnie tells him not to give up. She says maybe modern medicine can still help control this form he is trapped in, but Seth flatly refuses. He's afraid of being laughed at, and more than anything, he doesn't want to become a specimen for people to study. Seth says nothing. Instead, he slowly picks up a piece of bread from the table. Just then, he feels an itch near his ear. When he reaches up to scratch it, his ear falls off. By the next day, Seth's body has evolved again. Now he can even crawl freely along the walls, just like an insect. At that moment, he is still fantasizing that this new ability might win him a Nobel Prize. He tells Ronnie to record this historic moment with a camera. In front of the lens, Seth describes all the changes his body has gone through recently. To be honest, even he has no idea what kind of creature he will become in the end. All he can do is take it one day at a time and keep documenting everything. A scientist accidentally fuses his DNA with that of a fly during an experiment. Before long, coarse black bristles start pushing out of his back, and his strength and speed change in ways no one could have imagined. A full giant swing on the high bar is something most ordinary people